We're up to 13 years post-release for rehabilitated birds, and that's just really great confirmation that the rehab process made them fit and suitable for release. We're about to celebrate the release of the 1,000th rehabilitated threatened black cockatoo. I'm Dr. Peter Mawson. I'm a research associate with the Department of Biodiversity, Conservation and Attractions. This program is only successful because it's a collaboration. Most people think of threatened species as numerically low in numbers, so you don't see them very often, so you wouldn't expect to release 1,000 of them. But here in Perth, we have a very unusual situation that we've got 3 species that come to the greater metropolitan area, and unfortunately they get into trouble in terms of collisions with vehicles. Some get sick, some get injured, but because of the very good network we have of caring citizens, we can get a lot of those birds into care very quickly. 2003 was the start of the process to rehabilitate and release birds, and then by 2005 I was running a similar project on black cockatoos, primarily Carnaby's cockatoos, looking at what they were doing in the wild. It was a wonderful opportunity to put individually numbered leg bands on these birds so that if we encountered them again, it was easy to tell who was who. The rehabilitated birds aren't banded until they get to the few weeks before release. So the birds are just caught up using very large butterfly nets, a little more robust. And then they're just manually restrained while the leg bands are applied, and we collect a small number of body feathers for DNA so that we can record the genetics of wherever that bird was born, and we're able to identify individual birds. And that tells us which bird it is, how old it is, how long it's been out in the wild. Some of the birds we see quite regularly, sometimes even daily. They come to places to drink. Others we won't see them for 8, 10, 12, 13 years after release. One of those was a bird that was affected by the hailstorm in March of 2010. 53 birds, black cockatoos, Carnaby's cockatoos, were affected, and we were able to get 28 of those back to the wild within 2 months. And then only last year one of those turned up for the first time since release in 2010. And so that was really encouraging. The oldest bird we've encountered so far was banded as a nestling up at a breeding site just inland from Jurien Bay, and that was photographed 2 years ago, looking hale and hearty with a partner in tow, and that bird was 35 years old. It's really important that when you're dealing with threatened species, especially ones that interact with people in the urban environment so much, that you can get as many of them back into the wild where they can continue to breed and keep the species alive.